What is going on, friends? Welcome back to the channel. That car is not happy at all. Come on, lights, turn on now. Today I want to do some diagnosing on the car. We're most likely going to get the motor out today, but I think I want a compression test every cylinder to make sure we only have one dead cylinder. Let me get the car up on the lift, and then we'll kind of, if you didn't watch yesterday's video, I'll briefly explain what exactly happened yesterday on the dyno with the STI, how it blew up, why it blew up, and how a freaking $2 part costed us an engine or a piston or some rings, some internal part. Listen to this thing though, it is not happy. Quite the misfire. Real quick, I want to check out the underside of this car. There's a ton of oil leaking off of it, and I'm assuming it's all from the AOS overflow. Let's take a look. You can see the AOS overflow right there. I should probably reroute that. It's right above the downpipe. That's why the whole downpipe is covered in oil, is because there's just tons of oil coming out of that AOS, meaning it's full of oil. Okay, so briefly, here's exactly what happened. Yesterday, car went on the dyno, had about maybe 80 to 100 miles on the engine. I know some people will say, wow, you should really break it in beforehand. I'm not here to debate that. That's clearly not what caused the issue. Car went on the dyno, car was running perfectly fine. Higher RPM, we were getting all the way up to like -12 counts of knock, which is a lot. That's a ton. We checked over a few things. We kept getting up to -12 counts of feedback knock. Decided to check the plugs, pulled out plug number one. Plug number one was cracked. At this time, the car is already misfiring at idle. Like you guys heard previously in this video, it's still misfiring at idle. We replaced the spark plug out of cylinder number one with a new one, hoping that would fix the misfire issue. It did not. Fired up the car was still misfiring. Decided to go ahead and do a pull. No more knock, no more feedback knock whatsoever, which means the spark plug was causing the feedback knock. All of that knock, aka detonation, must have taken out piston number one. That is what happened. Those are the facts. Do I really care? Yeah, it sucks, but I'm not mad about it. It's life. Life must go on. So we need to pull the engine and see what's going on. So we already know we have at least one dead cylinder. I want to confirm we don't have multiple dead cylinders. It doesn't sound like it, and it would be a much more aggressive miss, in my opinion, if there was multiple dead cylinders, but I'm gonna double check anyway. So let's go ahead and get some parts off the car, and we can go ahead and knock out a compression test on all four cylinders and see what exactly is going on. Cylinder one was at 40 PSI, which is actually more than I was expecting. I thought it was gonna be completely dead. 2, 3, and 4 were all over 100 PSI. And that does sound a little bit low, to be honest, but you got to remember this is the Harbor Freight gauge that we always have historically low readings on all the time. So being that 2, 3, and 4 are all identical numbers, all right around 100, I'm happy with that. We already knew we had an issue on cylinder 1, so of course, I'm not surprised there, but I am surprised it had any compression at all. Very, very excited to get this motor out of the car. Now, of course, the compression test we just did took like 45 minutes because it's a pain on a Subaru. We could have had the motor halfway out by now, or maybe all the way out, but I just wanted to get that done for peace of mind, just so I know I probably don't need to mess with the other 3 cylinders. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can pull just piston number 1 out, see exactly what happened if the cylinder walls are still in good shape and everything else looks fine. Swap out piston number 1, of course, with new rings, put the car back together. That's ideal. Remember, this whole entire engine only has maybe 100 miles on it. So I really do not see the point of doing a whole entire build. It'd be a lot more expensive for the same end result. All right, boys, here's the engine. Came out of the car, took about, not that long, maybe an hour, hour and a half. I wanna look inside the spark plug hole. This is gonna be impossible to show you guys, I think. Let me try. Take my word for it when I say the entire top of the piston looks severely pitted. That is not good looking. All right, engine is on the stand. I have a date with my girlfriend tonight at the gym. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to wrap up the video here. We will take this thing apart tomorrow and see exactly what is going on. I'm gonna guess top of the piston's completely destroyed, detonation marks on the top of the piston, and probably some sort of ringland failures. Now, of course, the complete piston did not come apart. We still have 40 or 50 PSI of compression in that cylinder. So it ain't gonna be all that big of a deal. I know some people would be freaking out right now, but thankfully when you do this enough times, you kind of understand that building a motor, building an engine is not really all that big of a deal. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Peace out, my friends. I'll see you guys tomorrow.